to another episode of the Whatever Buddy podcast. Episode 96 of the WBP is upon us, and we have a good one for you today. The Eminem Show, murder, music, and the other Eminem. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. With no further ado, Ryan and Johnny. Did you just say this bitch referring to your buddy, your whatever buddy guy, Johnny?
I said that in reference to whenever you record a Zoom call, the lady speaks to me, and I don't know how I feel about her tone. I don't know how I feel about her tone of voice. That's what that is.
Well, it's because she's telling you what to do. You don't like when women tell you what to do. With that being said, hello, everybody.
It's not a woman thing. Don't turn me into a woman thing.
I'm not trying to paint. It's not a woman thing. I'm not painting Ryan Harris in a bad light. I just felt like 1972 Saturday Night Fever. Listen, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode 96 of the WBP, Whatever Buddy podcast. That is, if you don't know what that stands for.
The WBP. Ryan. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, you were just bitching to me about things you hate to do as a band guy.
Yeah. I have to film a video next week, and I'm not looking. I don't like. Look. I'm gonna be positive.
You sounded so foo. I gotta shoot a music video next week.
I'm gonna be a positive team player, and I want to be a positive light, just in general. So I'm gonna be positive. But I don't like shooting videos. If I can take one thing away from music, it would be the video aspect of things. I like watching them. I don't like making them.
I'll take it even a step further. There's one thing worse than music videos.
Worse than videos?
Yeah. Band photos. I hate doing band photos.
It's kind of the same thing, is it not?
It's like everyone's so serious. Like everyone else is gonna get that look like. And anytime I suggest that, let's have fun and just joke around. Everyone's just like, dude, no cool rock bands.
No, you got to be cool, dude. I'm gonna sit here in my t-shirt and show off my tattoos and
and if I'm lucky, I'll get a train track or a brick wall I can stand in front of.
That's right. It's kind of the same thing though. You're sort of sitting around, not doing a whole lot of stuff, and then you got to look cool or you got to act. Damn it, Gary, act. I don't want to act.
We just did a music video. It comes out April 23rd.
Well, that video is really good.
Thank you.
Cool lighting.
We did it at this place downtown, man. And dude, sketchy ass neighborhood. And we decided because of my schedule, and I wasn't able to do it on a Tuesday, so we had to do it on a Monday. By doing it on Monday, we had to do it Monday night. So we were down
downtown at night. That's fun.
But a part of downtown you don't want to be in. I'm not talking downtown. I'm talking even more south, and South Central.
What's the train station? Where's the train station? Not
Grand Station. Union Station.
Union Station.
It's Union Station. No, but even further. Further. Yeah. And we didn't start till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Wow. And I remember just being like, well, that's because what I was getting at was the thing that I find with music videos that make it tough is that as a drummer, it's the on and off. You get warmed up. Oh, you're drinking one of those things.
I'm straight up on the caffeine. They definitely tweak me. They tweak me out.
Obviously. So
by the end of the episode, I'm gonna be like, ah.
As a drummer, you play, you get warmed up, and then it's like, all right, cool, we'll come back to you. And then they come back to you, and it's like you're already warmed down, You're just up. That, but I don't mind doing. I really hate pictures though.
I don't want to be a one-upper, but I'm gonna one-up you because my location's worse than your location.
Where is it?
It's 4.5 hours away, dude. 4.5 hours away.
Oh.
Yeah, it's far. So either get up butt crack early, which I don't want to do. Man, I'm a complainer. Whatever. I'm going to keep complaining. I either get up super early or I go the day before and stay overnight. And neither of those sounds like something Ryan Harris wants to do. Yes, I refer to myself in third person.
Ryan Harris is used to staying in his house, and the fact that he's going to leave it.
Yeah.
You probably act the same way when you got to go to.
And that's not good
the same way
either.
when you got to go to the grocery store. Ah, God, I gotta go to the grocery store. Got to get in my car.
Speaking of which, I do have to do that today.
I
do have to do that today. Speaking of which, I'm getting cranky, man. I know it.
What do you mean getting cranky?
See,
it's funny. You're immune to those already. Last week, they had you fucking on Clown 10. This week, you're just.
Anywho, hey, dude. So, guess what? We're doing a podcast, and I got something to talk to you about. You remember last episode? I got something to talk to you about too. No shit. Who wants to go first? The guy that brought it up, or the guy that interrupted the guy that brought it up?
Obviously, the guy who interrupted the guy who brought it up. No, I'm just kidding. The guy who brought it up. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I found this list of top 25 greatest opening lines to a song. We could talk about it if you want.
Something I never thought of ever in my entire life.
But here's what it did for your buddy Ryan over here. One of the songs on there was "It's the End of the World as We Know It" by REM.
No, you got to count the song. Did you count the fucking words?
I counted the. I didn't. Dude, it's impossible to count it like live. But I found an article, and I'm going to pull it up.
Amazing.
Do you want to guess? Do you want to guess? Because I guessed 320.
So funny that you said 300 something, because the first number that came to my mind was 300 and something. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to probably double it and go 640. But what's cool is when you asked me that, no lie, before you said your number, the first number that came to my head was like, oh, it's got to be 300 and something. Like before you said 320.
Because 320, like, it sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but if you think about it, though, but if you think about it, though, if you read an article in Rolling Stone magazine, remember when we had that guy on? What's his name?
Michael Goldberg.
Michael Goldberg. Mikey, what's up, buddy?
Yo.
When we had him on, he would be like 1,000-word article or this amount of word article. Yeah. I wrote that one article for the WBP for the Hard Rock Hell magazine. It had to be 1,000 words, and like as much as that was, it really isn't all that many, really.
Yeah, cool story. So here's REM.
What a dick.
REM.
That was Eminem. Billy Joel.
Well, Eminem, not to be confused with REM, has a song called "Rap God" that has 1,560 words in it.
Oh wow!
I don't know why this article started with that because and then it says REM. It's the End of the World as We Know It. Has 615 words in it.
That seems weird. That Eminem song. How could that Eminem song have more than twice? By the way, I was close. But I lost.
Yeah, you were close.
You win the Price is Right because I'm over and you're under. You would have won the Price is Right.
Yeah, but you were closer, so I'll give you that. I'll give you that credit. You know what song has the most lyrics that I was able to find at least? We
didn't start the fire?
No, not Billy Joel. Billy Joel.
Because I love that
Start
song.
The Fire has 500. Yeah, it's a good song. I love Billy Joel. Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight has 2,879 words in it.
Did I kind of want to hear it just so we can hear?
It's also a 14-minute song. I'm not playing a 14-minute song.
That Eminem song. How long is that Eminem song? Hey, go down to the REM thing.
Well, the article doesn't say how long it is.
Scroll down a second.
No, it does. So 1,560 words into a 6-minute and 3-second song, which is an average of 4.3 words a second. It also includes a 15-second passage in which he manages 97 words. REM.
Okay, this song's only 4 minutes and 7 seconds.
I see where you're going. You're going with a ratio of time versus wordage.
Right. So
it's valid.
If you're going to look at this, REM has more songs per second.
More words per second.
What's it say?
Words per second. 2.49 words per second.
And what was
Billy Joel 1.9. Okay, so that's less.
What was the Eminem?
Eminem
per second.
4.3 words per second.
Wow. Yeah, he got it.
No, Eminem's rad.
Wow.
That's cool.
I gotta hear that song. How can somebody sing faster than "It's the End of the World"?
I straight up did my homework, man, and I'm patting myself on the back.
What song has the most words in general?
I just told you that. Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight, has 2,879 words.
That's what that article. I had another question that wasn't the same question.
You know that song? Researched. A hip hop, a hippie did the hip, a shibber did the shibber.
That's yeah.
All right, so here we're gonna do one more thing, and then the floor is yours.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up the lyrics, and
Of what?
just the heads up. REM's "It's the End of the World as We Know It," because I read them, and we got to get creative. We got to figure out what this song is about. My vote says nothing.
Can I sing it?
If you can. I couldn't even read
I don't know
them.
how this motherfucker could sing it so fast. It's like crazy. He sings like a lunatic.
Dude, I know.
It's back in the days of cocaine was a popular thing.
What was that? What's a frequency can if there's yo? Benzodrine. And I was like, this dude's got weird lyrics. What's benzodrine mean? And it was like an amphetamine. So maybe he was on amphetamines when he wrote this song.
That Third Eye Blind, that that's about meth. You would have never thought the irony that it's the happiest song ever about the darkest topic ever.
Doc days. Doc days.
It was the house of horrors, then it turned into the house of horrors.
Okay, here we go.
That's great. Starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, and airplane. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I am a hurricane. Listen to yourself churn. World serves. How the hell would he do that?
No, you know what? This straight up dude made his money on this song because I can't even read it. World serves its own needs. You don't misserve your own needs. Speed it up a notch. Speak, grunt, no stretch. Ladder.
Dude, I know what this is. I already know. I already know what this song's about. Before you go any further, how could you not figure this out?
What?
It's talking about how it's the way I look at it is it seems like the American way just pushing down everything to knock you off your rocker so they can control your ass.
Now, what gives you that? I'm not being a smart ass. I'm just like, because
the world serves its own needs. Don't misserve your own needs. Speed it up a notch. Speak, grunk, no strength. Hurry up, work.
And Lenny Bruce is not afraid because he's like referencing like a comedian that like didn't give a shit. He was like kind of did his own thing. Huh.
Right. It's like don't listen. It's actually what we do. We don't listen to what society told us. This song it influenced you and I without us even knowing it.
It should be our flagship song.
Yeah, let's do it. Flagship.
Do you want to?
Speaking of flagship songs,
do you want to do verse
every
2?
Every time I listen to our podcast, I hear the song and you wrote it. I love that.
The intro.
I love it.
I did write that. That's me writing and recording. Verse 2, 6 o'clock. Let's see if verse 2 confirms your theory. 6 o'clock TV hour. Don't get caught in foreign tower / burn. Return. Listen to yourself churn. Lock him in uniform. Book burning. Bloodletting. Yep. Every motive escalate. Automotive.
Scaring you with the fucking television.
Light a candle. Light a votive. I think that's supposed to be light a motive. Step down. Don't say it twice. Watch your heel crushed. This means no fear. Caviar, renegade, steer clear. A tournament of lies. Offer me solutions, offer me alternatives, and I decline. Huh.
Right. And I think
the
title of the song said. I think that. Hold on, no, we don't really need to, because if you just listen to the title of the song, I think it sums it up for you. If you're an artist and you listen to those lyrics, it's the end of the world as we know it if we had a living.
And I feel fine.
Right, because we're not we're like Lenny Bruce, baby.
He feels fine because he's on the crack rock to sing all those words, man. I couldn't even read it.
I can't get over that. I was thinking about this speaking of Michael, who we had on, the writer. Speaking of him again, I thought about this the other day, and it's funny you mentioned it because you said that the crack rock. I was thinking about Rick James. I couldn't help but see. I couldn't help but take notice that the other day I was watching one of those countdowns of rock stars who got in trouble, and there goes Rick James walking out of the police station. But it made me think of the thing that we read about how he walked out of that police station, and an hour and a half later, he got busted at Cahuenga and Yucca buying more crack.
Yeah.
Walked right back into that police station.
Well, just turn yourself back around.
Yeah, that motherfucker. Funny. Anyway, I want to say I feel like there's some kind of connection with you in this next band that I'm about to bring up.
Me in this next band. Okay. This is a projection of you.
So I tend to go on these deep dives of these rock stories, whatever happened to this band, whatever happened to that band. Yeah. And I'm not ironically enough, we have a podcast, but I'm not a huge fan of watching podcasts on YouTube. It's not a thing that I do. Yeah, I just listen to them. in the car.
I'm a watcher.
I stumbled upon this band, and I kind of never got into this band solely because of the name of their band.
But you think I like them, so you're projecting.
No. I don't think you like them. I think you have a connection to them. I think there is. If you are either friends with somebody in this band or something, you've talked to me about this band before, and we may have talked about this. But I learned something about this band.
Oh, cool. Johnny's topic is setting Ryan up to shit talk.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think he was a friend or something. Like there's some connection. I could be wrong. Maybe you were just a fan, and in which case, then I will shit talk. But this band's from Baltimore, Maryland, and the reason why I didn't like him at the time was because Sum 41 had already become really popular.
Love Sum 41.
Yeah. Sum 41 really popular. And then like right after that, they started pushing this band called SR71.
Oh yeah, I like SR71. I don't know them. There's a connection.
I thought there was some kind of connection with you and them.
Yeah.
But and I was always like, what the yo, jerk offs, do you not know that Sum 41 is a real big band? And if you're going to call yourself SR71, why not go SR72 so you're not 71, 41? Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. It's because they got the name, 3 of their dudes in the band, their fathers were in the Air Force, and SR-71 is like the most powerful plane or something in the military at the time. That's where they came up with the name, so they say. Funny enough, when they're going through how they ended up changing the name and they're telling the story about the record label, so you got to change the name because the original name of that band, that I can't remember, but there was already 3 bands that were already like using that name. And then they were talking about how like all these bands that had numbers in their name, but they definitely did not say Sum 41 in that list. And that was definitely
so. Fact check me. I believe they existed before Sum 41.
Yes, they did. Well, I don't know when Sum 41 formed, but they were definitely around. They didn't change their name until they signed a major deal. What was it that happened? They ended up at South by Southwest and creating a bidding war, but something happened. Oh, they toured a lot and sold 7,000 records on their own. So by the time they got to South by Southwest, they created a bidding war with every major label. And at that point, Sum 41 was around because SR-71 definitely came out afterwards. And at that time, I don't know if you know this, at the time that SR-71 got signed, they've got the largest signing bonus from any unsigned band prior to them. All of them made a lot of money.
Dude, record deals in the late 90s. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah. That's the one thing about Warner Drive that kills me is that if that band, Warner Drive, would have come out in like 96, 97, 98, 99, just because of what we did in Los Angeles as far as, draw goes, they would have given us millions of dollars in that era of music business.
Devil's advocate, that would be old now.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's kind of crazy how that works. But this is what I found out, dude. And this actually, because I was always a huge fan of this song by another band, but I didn't realize that SR-71 wrote the song and gave it to this band. So you know what song I'm referring to?
And here's your connection. Yes.
I didn't know the connection was that, by the way.
SR-71 did not write 1985. Mitch Allen, their singer, wrote 1985.
Right. But they recorded it. There's a version of it.
Yes, in what was going to be their third album, they ended up putting it out a bunch of years later. But in the meantime, they gave 1985 or Bowling for Soup re-recorded 1985, and they won a Grammy for that. And we toured with them during that run. Whenever 1985 was out, we toured with Bowling for Soup. Yeah, there's your connection.
Well, I now know 2 bands that have toured with Bowling for Soup.
Who's the other one?
The Dolly Rots.
Oh, cool.
They're part of that Kiss or Kill. Did you ever see that Kiss or Kill documentary? You gotta watch it, dude.
I know we've talked about it on here, and I've seen some.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. The only time I've ever been part of a legitimate, what they talk about a music scene is like this was a music scene. Like it was the best thing ever.
Those guys are great.
The SR, no, they're. Dude, I had more respect for them after I watched this little thing about them because they definitely did the shitter. Yeah, this is where I gained respect for SR71 because prior to that, I didn't care what their music sounded like, even though I thought it was generic, solely because I believe a band, you can tell everything about a band by the name of it. If a band's name sucks, if you didn't take the time to think about the name, then what makes me think you're going to take the time to think about your songs that you're writing? Personal opinion, you don't have to agree with me. That being said,
I couldn't disagree more. I could off the top of my head 10 great bands with awful band names. What's a Foo Fighter?
Go. That's a great band name.
Because you know them.
No, I always thought that was a great name. It's original. You listen to that, that's original. What's not original? I don't know. SR71, right after Sum 41.
What's a Sum 41? Oh, that's actually in the beginning of there. In the Sum.
It doesn't matter what the hell it means. It was a unique name, which means neat name. Maybe the song.
It's all subjective. It's all subjective. What's a good band name? What's a good band name? Give me a good band name.
I don't know.
You could argue that Kiss is a terrible band name because it's like, well, it doesn't like you look at that band and funny. They're kind of like hardcore and scary live, but they have this pretty band name. And like you could argue that that's a terrible band name, but it's one of the greatest ever. In your opinion, what's a great band name?
I don't know.
Yeah. Stumped you.
You stumped me, but think about all the great bands in the world. Their names don't suck. You know what I mean? And then think about the bands that come and go. They usually just have a generic name somewhere.
If Queen was named Queen because Freddie Mercury was gay, but also...
I was just going to ask you, is that why they were named Queen?
I don't know, but if it is why they were named that, it's pretty genius. That's a genius band name because it's like so subtle, tongue-in-cheek. Like calling your band that, but... not being out would be that's pretty balls. That's pretty awesome. Way to cough all over the podcast, Johnny. No wonder I'm cranky.
Oh, my fault.
I'm juiced with caffeine and you're coughing.
To bring this back in, though, I want to say that the reason I gained respect for SR71 was because long before I knew they had anything to do with 1985, I loved that song. So when I found that out, I was like, no shit. So then they said there was a version of it on YouTube, so I went and found it. And the fact that it's not on a label, we could probably pull this one up if we wanted to. But I think SR71's version's better. It's a tad bit slower.
Well, they did release a third album that they put that on, but it was more, I think it was more or less like just the singer put it out. If I could be mistaken in that. They put it out as a SR71, but it's called Here We Go Again.
SR71's first album did sell 500,000. It went gold.
That first album's awesome. They have a bona fide hit on it with Right Now.
What song is it?
Right Now.
Isn't that Jesus Jones? Right here, right now. Toyota-thon Tuesdays.
Could be. Yeah. She may not be Miss Right, but she's Miss Right Now. That song.
Oh, that was just clever play of words.
Yeah, it's great. They're great. I don't know what you're. I don't know. I'm not. You're not hating on them, but I don't know why you're hating on them.
Wait, that's okay. Can you say that line again? You're not hating on them, but I don't know why you're hating on them.
I'm not saying you're hating on them, but why are you hating on them?
What the hell are you talking about, man?
I'm just trying to make you think, keep you on your toes, bud.
Well, not to make you a little bit nervous.
I sense a segue.
Segue. So today I woke up and went back to bed, but before I went back to bed, I put on YouTube and I watched a 48 Hours episode on a murder that happened on Alta Loma. Do you know what that is? It's right off of Holloway. You know where you turn off Sunset onto Holloway to go down to La Cienega to go up the fountain? You know
Slow that down. You turn.
Alta Loma is off of Holloway. You know where Holloway is?
Oh, where Barney's Beanery is.
Yeah. But it's on the part that goes up to Sunset in between.
Okay. Right.
Right.
Not my favorite part of town.
What, West Hollywood?
That part of West Hollywood, that 7-Eleven right there is where that guy got a hatchet to his hand. There was a guy coming out of 7-Eleven.
I go to that 7-Eleven there all the time.
On Holloway. Yeah.
Not anymore.
It's on Holloway. The guy was coming out of 7-Eleven. This is a couple of years ago. And there was a person, you know how 7-Eleven tends to gather suspects on their front stoop. Well, the guy was walking out and he sensed somebody coming at him. So he put his hand up in defense of himself, and the guy was trying to hit him in the head with a hatchet. Well, his hand caught the hatchet. So it didn't kill him, but it took a hatchet to the hand.
Dude, for no reason whatsoever? Like,
Nope.
it's just a random crazy
Walking out of
homeless guy.
7-Eleven.
Dude, I walk out of 7-Eleven all the time. I've been to that 7-Eleven recently.
Shady. Anyways, you were saying, dude, I'm sorry.
7-Eleven cherry sours. Right here.
All right.
I love these things. Anyway.
This episode is just rando.
Dude, I don't know how people get themselves into this situation. There was some rich trust fund kid guy who's from Canada who claims to be a filmmaker like all them trust fund kids who moved to Hollywood. And I don't care if they're trust fund kids. This is just a story. He ends up killing his fiance. He had an ex-wife who lived in their old house. He's got the dead fiance he just chopped up living in the fucking apartment. And then he's got another girlfriend that says he raped her like 2 days prior to that at a house that he bought for her somewhere in the hills. 2016. So you were here in May 16 and you lived on Holloway, did you not?
I didn't live on Holloway.
That you had a second apartment. Wasn't that right off of Holloway?
Have you met me?
Okay.
A second apartment. You think I have two apartments?
Not twice. No. Why did I think it was? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I knew somebody who lived over there.
I had to get the second apartment to
hide your girlfriend.
House. Yeah. Yeah. I have 8 cars too. Anyways, back to this dude.
So the story was this dude. Like I fell asleep before the end of it, so I don't know why he did it. But like the dude, like it freaks me out to think like these are places that we see all the time. This is a place that is literally less than a mile from your house. We're talking like it's like a half a mile from your house.
Yeah,
and like it's just crazy to think like, yeah, you're there, you're hanging out one night just watching your TV, and a half mile down the road, this probably is exactly what happened. You were probably at your apartment watching TV, and a half mile down in May of 2016.
Yeah, dude.
Right. And a half mile down the street from your house, somebody's getting butchered.
Yeah, it's a horrible
in a nice neighborhood. I know, it's freaky to know that happens right around us.
Bro, what do you think happens every single time you see the police helicopters with the spotlight? Do you think that's because they're chilling? They're tracking people down.
Yeah. Dude, we live in a city that has so many people here. It's fascinating to think like that we live in a place that's that big that this kind of stuff happens on a regular basis. Like there's car chases every day in this city. There's probably cities in this country that don't have a car chase a year. You know what I mean?
For sure. I was watching TV one night, dude. This was when I first moved out here. My first ass apartment. And I love that place. And I'm sitting there watching TV and one of those police helicopters is like kind of above, spotlight going directly in my window and then like moving around and then directly in my window, and turns out they caught the person like behind the apartment building across the street from me, trying to run up into the canyon to hide. You ain't hiding from a helicopter, but
it's weird to think that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's eerie. Why do you think I stay in, Johnny?
It seems like that's the worst place to be these days is inside. They just come and get you on the inside. I don't know. I just think it's crazy to. Okay, a few weeks ago, beginning of February. This is weird. This one's a weird one. I, for some reason, live on a street where there's lots of nice houses. I live in one of the few apartment complexes on the street.
Because you bougie.
No, the neighborhood is kind of bougie that I'm connected to, but it's kind of like I'm bougie adjacent. You could say.
Fair.
There's right off of my street, right in the heart of the like bougie. There's fucking all these cops. I'm driving home. There's all these cops, and there's yellow tape. I'm like, okay, this is weird. This is not what you.
Sorry if you said when was this?
February. I want to say it was like February 7th instead of February 8th, because the point is, I'm still trying to figure out what happened. There was lots of cops. There was a coroner. There was investigators. The coroner might have been just the investigators. Both trucks look the same. I did some research. And to this day, I cannot find a thing on it anywhere, right?
Anticlimactic.
No, I'm getting somewhere with this. The reason I think we don't hear or find anything, it's not in any public reports, it's not in any newspapers, it's nothing, but there was definitely a hardcore crime scene going on here if you had the crime investigators there, okay? And yellow tape taped off and a whole block in a neighborhood taped off. It's either A, LA's got a serial killer right now, and they don't want anybody to fucking know about it, because if they start talking about it, all it does is make a panic. You think they told the city about the Night Stalker right away? No, they told the city about the Night Stalker when they had to. Or, option B, it's somebody of fame, and they can't let it out. Because there's all sorts of famous people who live on my street that I'm finding out about every day.
If they have facts, I doubt they give a shit if you're famous. If anything, that's even more of a story.
Oh, okay, before O.J. Simpson ended up killing his wife, the cops would come out to his house how many effing times, and you never heard about it because it's O.J. Simpson? I venture towards the serial killer more so.
I just venture towards a crime scene that they don't put facts out until it's confirmed, correct?
Yeah, but dude, not even in the neighborhood.
Bro, science.
Not even
speaking our half-truths again.
Dude, the neighbor app and all that stuff pops up on there. And it's just weird that to this day,
like
still
Nextdoor
trying to figure out. Yeah, the Nextdoor app or whatever. You can't find anything.
Or people inquiring?
I don't know. I don't look for that.
Yeah.
I was just, and I can't find nothing.
Hey, buddy, congrats on your crime doc podcast.
I'll just eat some cherry sour balls here. They're good. Do you ever have these?
Sour balls.
I'm addicted to them.
I'm not much of a candy guy, dude. I don't eat candy.
You're lucky. You're lucky because candy's bad for you. And you don't eat it. That's good.
I don't eat candy. I rarely
like ice
eat
cream.
Junk. I like ice cream and I like cookies and stuff, but I'm not. Occasionally, I'll do a chip.
What do you eat? What's a snack?
I'm so boring. I don't really snack, dude. If I get hungry in the evening, I'll have like crackers, crackers, cheese crackers.
What kind of toilet paper do you use? I don't really shit, dude.
I don't really use it. Sandpapery kind. I want to wrap it up. My day has been long.
Yeah.
So, to completely change the topic, hey, dude, what decade had the best music? I had this debate with myself. We'll go 60s. 60s were like birth of rock and roll, I suppose. We're just talking, rock and roll. 70s are rad. 80s got embarrassing.
I don't think got embarrassing.
90s were awesome.
You know what?
2000s got emo-ish.
The 80s got a bad rap. What happened in the 80s is they just oversaturated it. That was the problem with it.
What happened in the 80s happened again in the 2000s. It started with good music, and then the band's image overshadowed the music. So with the hair bands and stuff, and then in the 2000s again with emo, it's like it started with good music, and then it just turned into like guyliner.
I recently found out that guyliner may not be politically correct, by the way.
Really? Why? What else you call it? I wore it. I'm not judging.
No, because the conversation was, dudes want to wear guyliner, that's fine, but dudes who have beards who wear guyliner is just weird. It's
interesting.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm guilty of both, so whatever.
Why, you wearing guyliner right now?
I never. Yeah, no, I have a beard right now.
See what I'm saying? Guys with beards who wear guyliner is like weird. You're like,
I don't think I ever.
Why?
I don't think I ever put them together. I never.
I thought you just said that you did wear guyliner with a beard. I thought that's what you just said.
I wore guyliner back in the day, and I have a beard now. I don't think they ever overlapped.
Well, you can't see it, but I'm wearing it right now. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I've never worn eyeliner.
By your glasses.
Yeah.
Well, look, you're cooler than me, dude.
No. This is my guyliner. Is my glasses. It's the lining of my eyes.
Remember Police Academy? Your walleye.
What were we just talking about? Because I got a sidetrack.
Yeah, you do that easy, Johnny the Distractor.
Era.
What decade had the best?
Well, the same thing happened in the 90s, like you said. You know, they oversaturated. Every guy all of a sudden was like,
yeah, but the music of the 90s was amazing. 90s had great music, dude.
It did. And so did the 80s. So did the 2000s. So did the 70s. And so did the 60s. If I had to pick one, I think that the technology has helped, obviously, but I think it's hurt more than it's helped. I think Pro Tools has taken away the music or the way people are using Pro Tools, maybe. It's taken away the life, the feeling, the emotion, like feeling like you can breathe. Like you listen to the first Police album and you feel like you're sitting in the living room of the rehearsal room or whatever, or their house. And it sounds like the drums are right there in the room and everything sounds real. And
you can
live.
still do that. You just have to be aware of it.
You can. Wait till you hear the new Mercury Riots record, dude. We did it old school. We did it on tape, stuff played live.
Wiki, old school. Yeah, you did it.
Anyway.
You did it in a different city. You guys immersed yourself in the process. I admire you for that. I think it's super cool.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I'm very excited for the album, if you haven't noticed. But I would say the best era is 70s. And I would say that because I really think it ripped open the rock and roll thing to another level. And I think Led Zeppelin probably started that, even though Sabbath was right there with it. Sabbath, I think, was just a little too horror movie for the times, and it didn't reach. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
I don't agree with that. I think Black Sabbath is top 10 all-time great. But yeah, like Aerosmith. Well, I'm not saying,
I did. Whoa. Don't take my words out of context. I never ragged on Black Sabbath. I was just saying it might have started with Led Zeppelin, but I think Sabbath might have been before Zeppelin. I don't know, but I never ragged on
reference
Sabbath.
to what I got lost in your words because there was a lot of them.
Well, I was saying that I think the 70s was the era. And even though that the first Zeppelin album came out in 1969, I think they really ripped open the rock and roll thing in the 70s. Yeah. But then I backtracked, maybe could have been a little confusing.
Exile on Main Street.
Because of Sabbath.
What an album.
Sabbath might have come before that. I'm not saying the Stones and the Beatles weren't rock and roll, but it wasn't, for the time, it was probably considered heavy.
I'm agreeing with you. With you, dude. I think it's the greatest decade of music, in my personal opinion.
It had disco, too.
It's all cyclical.
I love it. What's that word mean?
Cyclical? It means music goes in my opinion, music goes in cycles.
Cyclical sounds like sickly. It sounds like you're sick.
Circular. Cyclical. Did you ever hear that quote? Hard times make hard men.
Cyclical. Sick.
Can I get my quote out? You interrupter.
Piece of shit.
I chose a kinder way of.
It's been that kind of week. I deserve to be called a piece of shit this week.
You deserve to be called an interrupter.
Well, yeah, duh. That's my whole life.
So does this apply? Hard times make hard men. Hard men make easy times. Easy times make soft men. Soft men make hard times. Does that apply with music, where like you get these great bands and they're doing cool shit, and then like these amateurs.
Hard men make babies.
I knew you wouldn't take it seriously. I'll shut up now. Whatever.
No. I just couldn't. I was. No. I don't understand. No. Bring it back one last time. Let's give it one last effort. Say it again one last time. Please.
I feel a setup.
I'm a child. I'm a fucking child. I had to get it in there. Now that I got it out, I really want to answer it. It sounds interesting. What? Okay. I don't understand how the question so much. Hard men.
Hard times, meaning when times are tough.
Yeah.
It creates resilient men. Yeah. Resilient men through their.
You changed your choice of words so you didn't follow.
Yes, because I don't want you to. I'm not going to say hard men to you anymore. I know exactly where you're going. Resilient men make easy times because they're hard workers and they make things good. And those good easy times make soft men don't go there. And then those little wimpuses make times hard again. And I think that is metaphorical for music too.
Explain how that relates to music.
You have bands like you're saying, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Black Sabbath, Rolling Stones, just straight up rad talent. And then you have these, what's the word? Like
Pussies.
Spin-off bands that try to replicate the great bands, and they just don't stack up. And then that leads to these.
Well, that leads to the watered down, and then the cycle. So let me ask something. I have a question for you, because and not to start another topic, but here's a question that is very valid. When you see a band that you like a lot, right, and then you become one of those bands that is like the imitator of the original band. Do you think the band that's the imitator like realizes they're the fucking imitator? It's like, what makes you think like...
I'll give you an example of when it's not always bad.
Please do.
Listen to 70s Aerosmith, and then listen to late 80s, early 90s Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses just straight up ripped off Aerosmith. They straight up ripped off Aerosmith. And they ripped off the Rolling Stones, the loose guitar.
Yeah, but now you're talking about two different... You're talking about two different things, though. You're talking about two different generations. I'm talking, let's talk the 80s. Let's talk Motley Crue.
I wasn't shit talking Guns N' Roses. I'm just saying you can mimic your idols and still pull it off and be good.
But I'm not, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, of course. But that's not what I mean. I'm talking about the bands that imitate the bands that are popular at the time. So you got Pearl Jam, right? Then all of a sudden every singer is singing like,
yeah.
So like, don't you think like the guitar,
the current trend.
like in 1997 when they're putting together whatever, you know, and the lead singer's an Eddie Vedder freak, and don't you think the guitar players would be like, yo, bro, stop going, every fucking band in the world's doing it right now. So my question to you is this: do you think they realize that they're the imitator? Because Guns N' Roses isn't imitating. And I'll use my own band for an example. My band is not doing anything new that hasn't been done. You could probably compare it to an AC/DC, to a Van Halen, but you can't say it directly sounds like any of them. It just reminds you of them. Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, same thing. But the point is, I'm not comparing my band to either one of those bands. Those bands are legends. My band is still paying our dues, trust me. But what I'm saying is, you got a band like Creed, who I remember hearing Scott Stapp in an interview in 1996 say that, yeah, we're not Pearl Jam fans. How can you say that? You sing just like Eddie Vedder, bro.
You can't just discredit that stuff. Oh, I never heard of Eddie Vedder. Shut up. Yes, you have.
What about Kingdom Come saying they weren't Led Zeppelin fans? Or Greta Van Fleet, who dresses like Led Zeppelin right now. Greta Van Fleet says they're not Led Zeppelin fans, too. It's like, give me a break. You dress like Jimmy Page. Give me a break.
Just own it.
Yeah.
Just own it.
If you'd own it, people would like you. That's the thing. That's what hurt Kingdom Come. That's what took their career down. Everybody around them was just like...
You talk so much right there that I don't even have to answer your question.
Sorry, man. I got excited.
It's okay. I like when you got some passion in you, dude.
Yeah.
To be continued.
On that note, everybody, thank you for joining us on episode 96. It's been a fun one. We've been all over the place, but I think we covered a lot of good topics today. I'm happy with the topics today.
I'm happy with the topics today.
I'm hoping that little dot on my video over here is like just a little piece of plastic on my screen instead of a dot.
You don't know how to wrap this podcast up, do you?
With that being said, everybody, please like, subscribe, report. We will see you next time. We do appreciate you coming, and let your friends know. Write Ryan an email and tell him how handsome he looks today, because he's a good guy. Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah.
Do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Later.